All right, good evening, everyone. As you're getting settled and filing in, we'll get started. And first of all, welcome to the Colorado Virtual College Fair. Thank you for joining us this evening. A few housekeeping announcements before we get started. You can use the Q&A button on your screen to type your questions to our presenters at any time. Certainly questions pointed at specific institutions are great, or if you would prefer to ask multiple institutions. Your camera and microphone are off, so the panelists cannot see or hear you. This is just one of many different sessionings that's happening this evening, so please be sure to sign up for additional ones. And this presentation is being recorded and will be available in about a week on the same website where you initially registered. With that all settled, I'd now like to turn it over to our presenters, and we'll get started with Penn State University.
Hi, everyone. Let me just get my screen share up here. Hope you all can see that. So thanks so much for joining me. My name is Katie Immel. I am the obviously the admissions counselor for Colorado, so I'm super excited that you guys are all here. I'm going to quickly go over Penn State. We don't have much time, so let me get started. Maybe. We are a top 1% university in the entire world. So out of 18,000 universities, we are ranked number 53. Many of our different colleges, different majors are ranked in the top 10, top 5, even number 1 in the nation. So we really do think that our education is world-class. You're going to get a great education no matter which one of our campuses you attend. Two of the other facts on this slide I always like to point out are our graduation rate and our retention rate. Our graduation rate is 25% higher than the national average, and our retention rate is 12% higher than the national average. And what that rate is the number of students that come back for their second year, meaning they got the education they were promised and they got that Penn State experience. A lot of those reasons come from the number of options we give students to be able to tailor their education. Options as far as majors. We have over 275 different academic programs to choose from. So everything from electrical engineering to nuclear engineering, English, pre-med, business, agriculture, psychology, you name it, chances are we already have it. We do have some great direct admit programs like our architecture, our nursing programs, and our musical theater program as well. We give options for students for what to do outside the classroom as well. So we have over 1,200 clubs and activities to choose from. So these range from purely fun to purely academic, social organizations, cultural organizations, even IM sports. So whatever you want to do, chances are we already have it. But if we don't, you can just get 6 of your friends and you can create your own club at Penn State. And we really encourage that. We want leaders at our school. So if there is a club you're really interested in and we don't already have it, please add it. We also give students the option of studying over 20 of our campuses. So they're all Penn State, they're all in the same transcript. No matter where you start or finish, you're getting a Penn State degree. So your diploma at the end says Penn State University. The difference between them is actually the size. So they range from about 500 students to about 5,000 students. And then our largest campus, University Park, does have close to 46,000 students. So I always tell students we have small, medium, and XXL. But no matter which one you go to, you are going to get a unique Penn State experience. It's easier to show on this map. So if you're familiar with the state of Pennsylvania, you might recognize the city of Philadelphia. We have some campuses closer to Philadelphia. Of course, Pittsburgh, we have some. If you're a fan of The Office, we have one in Scranton, Pennsylvania. And then smack dab in the middle, the one with the red Monopoly house here is University Park. That is our very large campus with 46,000 students. The ones with the yellow Monopoly house are the ones with on-campus housing. The ones with red have on-campus housing. They make it mandatory to live on campus for 1 year, but they also guarantee. So as an out-of-state student, it's really important to have a place to live when you come to campus. And those are the two that I would recommend highly. The other things to remember is that we have a 2+2 program. You can start almost any one of our majors at any one of the 20 campuses, and then you would transition to another campus that offers that degree to finish that major. Want to go over what you would need to apply to Penn State. So it's very simple. We need your online application. We go through the Common App, the Coalition app, or the My Penn State app. We don't have a preference over which one you choose. We just prefer that you do submit it. We also require a self-reported academic record. This is where you get your transcript from your high school. You put in all the classes you took from grades 9 through 11, the grades you received, and then of course your schedule for grade 12. Now this year, this third thing is optional. So you can either include your test scores or choose not to. It's not going to hurt you either way. Simply if you were able to take the test and you think you did well, go ahead and add them. We're going to review you with your test scores. If you haven't had a chance to take them, like most students, or you just aren't very good at taking the standardized test, that's okay. Just simply mark that you want to go test optional, and that way you know that you'll have a complete application. We review all of these just like every other college through your My Penn State profile, so make sure that you are logging into all colleges' profiles pretty frequently to see checklist items, but also that's usually where you find out your admissions decision. So it's kind of that one-stop shop. Now on this, there's two important links I want you to write down. The first is kimmel@psu.edu. That's my email. I am the admissions counselor for Colorado, so any questions that we don't get to tonight, just email me. I usually get back to students within the day or in the next day. And then the other one is admissions.psu.edu/experience. This is our virtual page. So any kind of virtual tours we're doing, student panels, we actually have where students are leading a video tour. So you really get to see what our campus looks like, even though there aren't actual in-person visits currently. And then of course, there's also information sessions with myself or another colleague that goes over all of this information, but a lot more in detail whenever I have a good 30 minutes to spend with you instead of 6. So with that, I will give some time back and I will be happy to answer your questions in the Q&A. Thanks, everyone.
Great, thank you so much, Katie. Up next, we have St. Joseph's University.
Hello all, I'm Brad Simon, representing St. Joseph's University in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. We are the Jesuit institution of Philly, and if you're looking for a close connection, Regis University is going to be the closest you'll find by you in Colorado. We do represent the Jesuit network, so we really center ourselves on lifelong learning and social justice, social impact. And this is part of what you're going to find across all 27 Jesuit institutions in America. But specifically, we really center ourselves on some principles of cura personalis, care for the whole being, as well as magis, to live out greater or more. And it's really important to see that this intertwines itself through the entire college experience, including admission. As far as our campus community, we are in Philadelphia, but we sit on the western pocket, spilling out over the city limit with our 114-acre campus that supports our 4,500 undergraduates. Access into the downtown life of Philadelphia is one train stop away, takes about 10-15 minutes, but it's easily accessible and a strong piece of the overall college experience for research, internships, cooperative education, cultural experiences, and let's not forget about the concerts and cheesesteaks and the fun that takes place in Philly as well. We do represent all 50 states and 50 nations within our mid-size undergraduate population, but we do have graduate students as well. So overall, we're a campus community of about 8,000 individuals. Our overall experience is based on a liberal arts backing, having that solid education to really support any ambitions you have. And it's very great to know that this is something that's going to help you learn who you are and what your passions may be, all within a class size averaging at 23 students. Academically, we are major blind in the admission process. We want to make sure there's adequate time for you to experience what you really love and talk to people and really figure out what's the best fit for you. So you'll select a major, but in the end, you're being admitted to our full university, our College of Arts and Sciences, our Hop School of Business, and our School of Health Studies and Education. That represents 50 majors and 65 minors, all at your hands. And we see that the last year's graduating class, actually the class of 2019, over half of them left the university with more than a major. Many of them had double majors, multiple minors. This is your education, and we're there to support you. And that does extend itself outside of the classroom with cooperative education, which enables business students a year of paid experience with 2 companies that will then begin making its way over to arts and sciences as well in the near future. And there's also plenty of research opportunities, study abroad experiences to all but Antarctica when it comes to continents that we explore. In terms of your experience, no matter where you land, It's important to look at that out of classroom experience and what's going to keep you involved and happy. We offer more than 100 clubs and organizations for you to take part in, from Greek life to cultural immersion programs, service, campus ministry, and much, much more. Just like almost every other university or college you'll hear from, if you find more people who want this, they will create that club or organization. But a lot of ours are deep rooted in our mission to serve others, to support others, and to really find out what our passions and interests are. Looking ahead though, we do really see ourselves as a stepping stone to success. 97% of the class of 2019, within 6 months of their graduation, were working full-time. They'd gone on for additional education, were committed to a volunteer program like the Jesuit Volunteer Corps or Teach for America, or even the Armed Forces. And we do offer our own Air Force ROTC, but we really see ourselves as that piece that's going to help you figure out what is next, what's that career path, or what's the additional education you're seeking. We won't go too far into this, but simply apply either the common application or the St. Joseph's application. They are nearly identical, and we do a no application fee that has been waived for the year to ensure that everybody has access. And you can find that at sju.edu/apply. Our next application deadline is November 15th for early decision 1 and early action. We'll walk through that to figure out the best fit for you. But we only require an application, a transcript, and 1-letter recommendation. But looking at that holistic review and that belief of care for the whole being, you get to share what you want to share. We typically see 2 to 3 letters of recommendation per applicant. Many of our students are supplying a resume. They're coming for an interview or a virtual interview. They're giving us a lot more so we can figure out who they are in full and what does a normal week look like. We do not require the SAT or ACT, especially this year, but you see the middle 50% profile next to me, keeping in mind that a quarter of our students admitted last year are above these marks and below. We do superscore the SAT, but use a single composite score for ACT. And in terms of your cumulative grade point average, that is one number that we use as a metric. But I look at the full transcript, looking at your progress and your decisions to take honors, advanced placement, dual enrollment. And there's a lot more that goes on to that process. So we want to hear the whole story. We won't go too deep into this, but as a private institution, we are very much aware of our higher cost. It does begin at about $65,000 for the year, including all tuition, room fees, everything. We want to make sure nobody's left out of the dark. And we do guarantee your housing for the first 2 years, but we do an automatic merit scholarship review for all admitted students. And there are additional specialty scholarships specifically for those interested in STEM, performing arts, and speech and debate. But I will work with you as a financial aid counselor looking at need-based aid. We only ask for the free application for federal student aid, which does open tomorrow. And we will work through that to determine what federal and institutional levels of loans, grants, and resources are available to you. Now that I've taken up a few of your minutes, I welcome you all to join us in the Q&A. And I'm going to give you a quick flyover as I let you know that our opportunities to explore Hawk Hill are both virtual as well as in person throughout the week. Monday through Friday, we do have tours available to you. And then online, you can find us. So simply visit sju.edu/visit. I want to thank you all for joining and learning about our universities. And I wish you all the best of luck as you go through your college search, and let us know how we can support you.
Great, thank you very much. And up next, we have the University of Pittsburgh.
Hello, everyone. My name is Lauren Wright, and I am coming to you from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. As you can see, there's another Pitt individual in this chat here, Anna, who's a current student, and we'd love to take any questions that you have about the university in the chat and throughout the presentation. So glad you chose to join us this evening. So sharing my screen here so you all can follow along. I took the creative approach and said, we have exactly 6 minutes, so let's talk about exactly 6 things about the University of Pittsburgh. The first thing, and something that may be very important to all of you, is that Pitt is about personalized education. There's not any one type of student that's considered a perfect fit for Pitt. So with 107 different majors, 5 different programs you can enter into as a first-year student, and students from all over the world, the United States, students who are coming to do Division I athletics, students doing intramurals, club sports, getting involved in unique student organizations, starting their own student organizations, as you heard many others mention, and then also making a large university feel small. We have about 19,000 undergraduate students on campus, but we maintain a 14-to-1 student to faculty ratio, and there's very rarely a class that has over 30 or 40 students in it. So you're definitely not just a number at Pitt. And we want to recognize that. We recognize your hard work from the moment that you apply to us as a freshman. We will review you for guaranteed admission into 20 different graduate school programs. These programs include business, education, the law school, even medical school. And all you have to do is indicate on your application that you're interested in one of those graduate level programs. It's a great way to be recognized the moment that you're stepping onto a college or university campus, and also take advantage of the fact that the university is home to 14 different graduate and professional schools. We also recognize students by giving them an invitation to participate in Pitt Honors. So students can apply with just a short additional 500-word essay to our honors program. The honors program contains a Bachelor's of Philosophy degree, a degree that fewer than 1% of students in the entire world will ever attain. So if you're looking to stand out, the Bachelor's of Philosophy helps you do that. You also have a lot of flexibility. So let's say you don't want to do a Bachelor's of Philosophy because it is rigorous, sort of a master's level thesis, but you like the idea of more challenging courses or smaller course sizes. You can take advantage of just doing honors coursework, or you can do honors curriculum within your specific major. You can also take advantage of paid research fellowships, like our Brackenridge Fellowship that offers up to $4,000 in paid research over a summer opportunity at the University of Pittsburgh. Again, we really want to recognize students that decide to call Pitt home, and those are just some of the opportunities and ways that we recognize students. We also recognize you early on through scholarships in our Pell Match program. We have scholarships that range from $2,000 to full tuition, room, and board, and all you need to do is apply by December 15th of your senior year, answering 2 of our 4 short answer questions. They're technically optional for admission, but very highly encouraged for our scholarships. For those who are eligible for need-based financial aid, the university has a unique Pell Match program. That means essentially if you are eligible for a Pell Grant from the federal government, Pitt will give you twice that much towards your Pitt education, which I know coming from out of state can be a huge benefit to you as a student. Generally speaking, we are rolling admissions. So that means when you apply to Pitt, you'll generally hear back in about 4 to 6 weeks. But we do have some deadlines. There's a couple of deadlines you see listed there for various guarantees. Also our deadline for that Pitt Honors application, and then our scholarship deadline. So this is the page. If you're thinking you like Pitt, I encourage you take a picture of, remember, or even easier, just apply by November 1st, and then you'll meet all of these deadlines. This year, we are also test optional for the first time, the only exception being nursing. But I am your representative and advocate, so if you're interested in nursing but couldn't take a test, definitely keep in touch with me and we can see what we can do for you. And ultimately, we understand that college is an investment, especially when you're going all the way from Colorado to the state of Pennsylvania. You have to make sure that you're making good choice, and you have plenty of choices in front of you today. So a 94% job placement rate is, of course, a highlight, but when you're currently a student, it matters more that we have a guaranteed internship program. So you're guaranteed to have some sort of hands-on experience when you're a student with us at Pitt. And we're headquarters to companies that you may be be familiar with: Duolingo, Dick's Sporting Goods, American Eagle, PNC Bank, just to name a few. And students also do those paid research opportunities and do internships and job opportunities all around the world. For example, during my time at Pitt, I did an internship in London with a sports promotions company while I took international marketing coursework. Ultimately, Pitt has a reputation and opportunities that expand around the globe for its students. Ultimately, at Pitt, your future is unscripted. We want you to obviously find anything you'd like to do inside of the classroom and outside of the classroom as well. We're ranked among the top 20 public universities. We are also a top 5 institution for National Institutes of Health funding. We've been rated one of the top 10 universities for solving the coronavirus vaccine. We're the birthplace to the polio vaccine, and we're also home to several different hands-on programs in medicine. So if you're thinking pre-med, but you're not sure which direction to take, Pitt may be a great place for you, but there's a lot of other professional options as well. And then wrapping it up, how do you continue to ask questions? There's this obnoxious picture of myself that will burden me into your mind as your representative or just haunt you tonight. If you're not interested, you can of course reach out to Anna, a current student and not a decade-old Pitt alum, or you can connect with us on our Pitt Admissions website, or of course visit us. And I will say with that visit comes a free gift. So not to encourage you in that way, but maybe you want to stop by. Thank you so much for your quick listening. You can send the questions to the chat. Hail to Pitt.
Perfect. Thank you so much. And as we're about halfway through our institutions this evening, just a reminder to use the chat. You can use it in one of two ways. You can direct questions specifically to the admission representative for the institutions which you're interested in, or you can ask general questions about the college search process, or maybe questions that would apply to multiple institutions. Up next, we're pleased to present American University.
Hi, everyone. So I am Nia Abram. I am the admissions rep for Colorado students at American University, also a recent AU alum with my master's in public relations for social impact and advocacy. Here you see a lovely shot of AU's campus, and I will jump right in in the sake of saving time. AU is located in the northwest corner of Washington, D.C. You can see we're about 4 miles away from the White House. Students ask all the time where exactly we're located. The great thing about being at AU is that although you are in an urban area, you still have access to a very traditional campus. So you will still have a classic quad style college campus. Our campus is really small. It's about, I would say, 15 minutes walking across. All of our dorms, our academic buildings, all that stuff is clustered right in the same area. So we do not have the typical urban school campus where it's more of a cluster of buildings in a downtown setting. The perk of this is you get a lot of green space. AU students love having a strong sense of community on our campus. We were the first school in the United States to be carbon neutral, and we are certified Arboretum, and we're very proud of that. We pride ourselves on being a very green urban school. So if you're interested at all in sustainability and environment, AU is the place for you. We are also located right near Embassy Row, also across the street from the Department of Homeland Security, as well as NBC News. So although we are not right by the White House, we still have so much access to resources in DC. The great thing about being at AU as well is that you are given a Metro card, what we call a U-Pass. It's essentially a free unlimited ride card in which you can take the Metro anywhere in DC as many times as you want, completely for free. So this allows you access to travel downtown if you'd like. AU is located right by a Metro stop that essentially runs in the same parallel direction as that red line you see here on this map. So you will have the ability to travel wherever you want in DC, so long as you have that Metro card. In terms of AU's overall makeup, we consider ourselves a mid-sized university, so we're not super big, not super small either, around 8,000 undergrads, 5,000 grads, 14,000 students on campus total. Most students really like that we, although are relatively larger in size sometimes, we keep our classes to about 23 students. I never personally had a class over about 21 students, so all of our classes are capped at about 23. We also have a relatively low student to faculty ratio. You can see here it's 11:1. The great thing about all of our classes is that they are also always taught by a professor. You will never be taught by a TA. And all of our classes, generally speaking, are focused on a Socratic seminar style of learning. So you are going to learn in a discussion-based setting. You're learning in a way that is project-based, inquiry-based. You are rarely ever going to be lectured to. In terms of our demographic makeup for the university, we've got about 32% students of color, all 50 states represented, and a really large international population. As you can imagine, AU attracts a really strong international group of individuals simply because we are located in an international hub within the country. In terms of academics at AU, we offer a number of different majors in all of our different schools and colleges. We are an academically flexible institution, which means that when you apply to AU, you are not applying to a specific major or school or college. You are actually just applying to the university as a whole. And when you get into AU, you get into all of the schools and majors and colleges that we have to offer. So this also means that you are flexible to double major if you'd like, major and minor if you'd like, across all of our schools and colleges, as well as decide to switch majors. So maybe you start as a Kogod School of Business student, but you realize that you have a passion for communications. You can in fact switch your major from the School of Business to the School of Communications. Our top majors, our most popular majors, are School of International Service, so the International Relations or International Studies major. Second most popular major is our poli-sci major, shortly followed by journalism, film and media, business administration, environmental science, psychology, neurology, and secondary education. So these are sort of our top things that we're known for, but AU has a misconception that we are just a politics and policy school. Students are really loving STEM at AU. It's a really growing field. We just built a new science building, and we highly encourage students who are interested in STEM to look into some of our STEM programs because they are a growing part of our university. In terms of what life is like as a student at AU, internships are the cornerstone of what it means to be a student at AU. 91% of our student body does at least one internship before they graduate. On average, about 85% of our student body will do between 2 and 3 internships before they graduate. All of our internships, starting their sophomore year, students are able to petition to receive course credit for them. So long as your internship is more than just fetching coffee, your internship can count towards course credit starting in your sophomore year, which is part of the reason why internships are so accessible. And later on, I'll show y'all a helpful tool to see what types of internships are out there based on your major. We also are really well known for our study abroad programs. We've got close to 200 different programs in study abroad. All of our students who want to do study abroad often have access to them. We don't bar students for study abroad based on major. About 70% of our student body does at least one study abroad program, but there are several students who will choose to do more than one and study abroad for a full year by taking 2 different semesters off to study abroad. We have a couple of different satellite campuses across the globe. We've got a campus in Madrid, another in Brussels, and another in Nairobi. All of these programs are really up and coming. Our Nairobi campus is receiving a lot of buzz. It is a very public health oriented program that's offered there. And so as you can imagine, during the global pandemic, students are really interested in learning more about public health. So all of our study abroad options are available to all students, like I said. And the great thing about our study abroad programs is that your financial aid package that you receive when you come to AU is the package that will also cover your study abroad. You do not have to pay anything extra to go abroad with AU. Lastly, we've got our admission stuff here. So just keep in mind that we've got 3 different deadlines: early decision 1, early decision 2, and regular decision. The Common App or the Coalition App is certainly available. And everything else on our application checklist is pretty straightforward. The thing to keep in mind with us is that we do offer test optional, and we have been test optional for about 11 years. So keep in mind that that is an option for you if you'd like to apply. And last, we do have separate applications for our special academic programs. To learn more, I don't have time to go into all of them. Check out our website and go to the special academic programs. These do have separate applications. And last, stay in touch with us. We do have our phone number and email here, but we also would love for y'all to reach out virtually. We're doing a number of different virtual activities that are also available for review on our website. Thanks, y'all.
Great, thank you very much. If you have any questions about American University or any of the other institutions you've heard about, you can ask them using the Q&A option. And up next, we have the Catholic University of America.
Hi, everyone. Sorry, I'm just pulling up my screen here. All right. Great. My name is Carly Ryan. I am the Colorado representative for the Catholic University of America. Thank you all so much for taking some time tonight to learn about all of us. Briefly about Catholic, I want to start with our founding and our history. It's where our name comes from. We were founded as the National University of the Catholic Church and directly under the Vatican. We are actually a liberal arts university, but extremely research-based. We were founded as a research center here in the United States, and still today continue that research with 31 on-campus research centers. So if you're looking for a little bit more of a STEM background, we're a very hands-on research university as well. Here on campus, we have about 3,330 undergraduate students, about 2,600 graduate and law students, which I'll touch on our programs in a little bit. 80% of our students do self-identify as Catholic. So if you're looking to practice your Catholic faith on campus, of course, we have plenty of resources to do so. However, we are absolutely welcoming to students of all faith backgrounds. You do not have to be Catholic or practicing of any religion to come to school here at Catholic. Just to talk a little bit about our student body, we have students enrolled from all 50 states and over 40 different countries. 30% of our student body are students of color and 8% are international students. Here in our campus is in Washington, D.C. We're in the northeast part of the city. So actually kind of across the city from where American was just talking about, but on the same metro line, we're on the red line. We are the largest self-contained campus here in Washington, D.C. We have about 179 acres for you all, and we are all enclosed. So the students are getting their own campus. Even though we're in a little bit more of a residential part of the city, our part of Washington is called Brookland. You can take the metro. We're 2 miles from Union Station in the Capitol, and about 3 from the White House and the monuments. 98% of first-year students do live on our campus, and we do have a 3-year residency requirement. So students will be living on campus for the first 3 years and can move off senior year. We do have a new dining hall and residence hall coming in 2022. So in DC, as I'm sure you know, it's a wonderful, wonderful city. Coming from Colorado, you're going to be in a really, really cool place to call home for the next 4 years. We have world-class history, art, culture, music, 10 plus professional sports teams. Our metro is actually right across the street from us, so you can hop on really quickly and get to and from wherever you're looking to go in the city, whether that's for social reasons or if you have an internship. We offer over 3,000 internship opportunities each year, so we're a very career-focused school. And our personalized academic experience, we have a 7-to-1 student to faculty ratio and an average class size of 19 students. So you're definitely going to be getting your information in a really small gathering of students. We have no lecture halls or anything like that here at Catholic, and we do have 400 full-time faculty. These are our different undergraduate schools. We have 9 different undergraduate schools of study, 79 undergraduate degrees, and 144 graduate and doctoral programs. We also have pre-professional advising in pre-med, pre-dental, pre-vet, and pre-law, and we have a law school on our campus if you're interested in going into that. And our education abroad, we have 96 programs on 6 continents. All majors can study abroad no matter what your major is. So if that's something you are interested in, global education is something that is very important to us here at Catholic. We have semester, summer, and year-long programs too, and our own center actually over in Rome. Our application review, this is what we're looking from you all. We're a Common App school. That's the only way you need to apply to us. Just send on over the Common App and you will be all set. We do not charge an application fee. So once you hit submit, you're good to go. We look for the official high school transcripts, your school report and counselor letter, the teacher rec. There is a small optional piece called the Catholic Youth Statement if you choose to fill that out. We also this year have decided to go test blind, so we do not consider test scores for any program applying to Catholic. And then on the holistic side, what we're looking for, of course, your progression throughout high school, the strength of curriculum, any activities, service, or leadership that you've completed, the interest in Catholic, and if you did choose to do an interview, we can definitely factor that in as well. On our scholarship side, all students are automatically considered for scholarships just by applying to Catholic, so there's no separate application there. As long as you send in the Common App and your transcript, you will be all set for these scholarships. They range from $17,000 to $30,000 a year, and we also have full tuition awards for our students. Two that are requiring a little bit of work on your end are on the Common App. There's the Legacy Grant and the Parish Scholarship. Just make sure you're looking for those forms on the Common Application because that's how you submit for them. And then what's next? Definitely connecting with us is a really, really great way to learn more about the school. We're offering a lot of different virtual events. So we have our virtual tour. Every week, we actually have some different majors are taking over and offering virtual events that you can come and learn about specific schools and programs. So if that's something you're interested in, follow us on our social medias or absolutely connect with me. As I mentioned, I am the Colorado representative. So while unfortunately I can't get out there to meet with you in person, I would love to connect over email or over Zoom. So reach out to me and we can definitely connect there. So I'm just gonna stop sharing my screen. Thank you all so much for participating with us tonight. I'll turn it back over to Owen.
Great. Thank you so much, Carly. And if anyone has any questions about the Catholic University of America or any of the institutions you've heard about tonight, please feel free to use the Q&A widget to submit those now. If they're personalized ones, our counselors are able to respond directly to you, but if they're ones for the group, we'll certainly take them as a group. A quick update and schedule change. Unfortunately, Lafayette College is unable to be a part of this program this evening, so we will not have a presentation from them. All right, now would be a great time to submit any of those questions that you have. And while we wait to see if anyone does have any, if everyone wants to come back and we can just kind of all quickly answer a common question that's come up at some panels. What is your favorite tradition at your institution? And if we want to go in the order that we started, so I believe that's Katie. Sorry to put you on the spot.
Thanks. No, I should know an answer, but I feel like everyone kind of has their own. But I think probably Guard the Lion, which is what our homecoming is. All different alumni come into town and we kind of like guard our lion on the homecoming game because people try to like, you know, put a hat on him or something. It's all for fun and games, but it's a time where we all get to connect as students and we're able to kind of see each other in a different spotlight than school or actually at the sporting event. And it's just a time to drink some hot cocoa. It's usually in October, so it's a little bit cold in the Northeast. So it's just a really great environment to be on. And I would say every student usually at least participates in that at least one year, if not all four. I'm on year 10 myself, so.
Great. Brad?
If you could give me permission to start my video again, that'd be great. But St. Joe's has the longest running collegiate tradition with our mascot, the hawk. We have the ability, our mascot is always flapping. They actually receive a full tuition scholarship that enables them to go with the basketball team wherever they may be. But this goes hand in hand with the idea of magis, to live more. So this is visual proof that everybody has the ability to push further, to go a little bit longer, to go deeper into their studies. And you can see that at every single basketball game. And the hawk actually averages over 3,000 flaps per game that will begin at pregame celebrations, at the beer garden and the concerts that we had before, the whole way through. They do a figure 8 every time there is a timeout, and they will go through win, lose, draw, doesn't matter. We always believe that the hawk will never die.
Great. Lauren or Anna?
I'll let Anna take it because her tradition is probably fresher.
I would say my favorite tradition is definitely we light the victory lights at the top of our cathedral, that really tall building that you see in my background. And every time we win a football game, we light those victory lights and they shoot up super high into the night and you can see it all over Pittsburgh. Pretty cool.
Great. And next, American?
We have two favorite traditions among students. The first is called the finals scream, and everyone collectively gets on the quad before finals week and screams their guts out. It feels like a nice collective release. And the other one that's a little corny is students will go trick-or-treating on Embassy Row the first year that they're typically there, and they get a nice little candy from the home country of each embassy they visit. That's
great. And then the Catholic University of America.
Yeah, ours is called Cardinal Palooza. I think it's the most fun that we that I've experienced being a student there. It's at the end of every year, it's on the last day of class, they have this big carnival for students. They have rides and games come in and all this different food and music. So it's just a really fun way to celebrate the start of summer and being, you know, one more year down and done with class. So every year it happens.
Great. Well, it seems like it is a little bit quieter on the question side. Certainly you got the contact information from many of our great representatives as they were presenting. Feel free to reach out to them afterwards if you do have any additional questions, and I'm sure they'd be more than happy to assist. But we do want to thank you for joining us this evening. When you close this window, there will be a very quick 4-question survey. We'd appreciate any feedback that you can provide. Also, this was just one of many sessions being offered this evening, so certainly feel free to tune into others. And in about a week's time, there will be a recording of this session and all the other ones available on the website where you initially registered. So thanks again for joining us and have a great evening.